So here we go. We are ready to align ourselves, our life. There's no real difference because, as you know by now, our life is all reflection. It's all really part of us. We are one with all that is. And life is such a beautiful game to initiate us into that. And I'm really excited because we've set the foundation, right? We've learned to clear energy blocks. We've been clearing emotional blocks. Today, we're going to be working on clearing some mental blocks, the other layer, but we're going to get into a lot more fun because we're going to learn to put together a lot of the tools we already have to go into aligning different parts of our life. We're here to awaken us into a whole new level. And we're going to go through a very deep, powerful activation here in the second half to experience this. So I invite you to, if you don't have a piece of paper and a pen, take a moment to grab one because we're going to write some stuff down and we're going to tear a little piece out and put a word or two on it here to do a little magic. So paper and pen. Now, as you're preparing for that, I just want to remind you that what are you breathing in right now? Right? We're taught that we're breathing oxygen and carbon dioxide, and that they're molecules. Doesn't mean that's not true, but there's so much more than that. We're actually breathing in the ether. It's a plasma. It's almost like a very subtle liquid that holds all the wisdom of the universe, all information that exists. And so as we're doing breath work now, as we're remembering, right? Because I'm not teaching you anything, I'm just inviting you to remember things that are already there within you as a mirror. Just remember that you have that capacity because we're going to be opening up our psychic senses today too. There's a lot of superpowers coming online and I'm truly excited to share this with you. So here we go. So let's do a little exercise. I want you to just take a moment and tune into intuitively a few things in your life that you'd like to align. It can literally be anything. It could be a few people's names, right? It's like, okay, I want to heal stuff with my mom, my ex. I want a new relationship. So it doesn't have to even be manifested fully yet. You can put, life partner down. You can put down a business idea. Sometimes you have a choice. It's like, should I hire this person or this person? Or should I go to this retreat? Just write it down. Just make it into one or two words usually. Just give it a title, right? Don't make a whole sentence or paragraph about it. Just give it a title so that you know you're referring to this aspect of your life. It could be about an addiction or something you want to clear. It's like social media addiction or cannabis use. So we're just going to take a couple minutes. We're not here to write down all of them right now. The whole point is just writing down a few. Some of them can be really big, some of them can be small, but they're all significant to you. So for people asking this, all of the above, it could be an issue, it could be a block, it could be a goal. It could seem positive or negative or neutral. Just anything that wants to come through. All right, you can always write more later, and you will, because that's the homework. Because guess what? We're gonna align all of your life in the next couple of weeks. It's gonna be so fun. But first, we're gonna choose one. So throughout this course here today, we're going to work on aligning one aspect. And I recommend choosing one that's maybe not the hardest thing, unless you're guided to, but I recommend starting with something smaller so that you can master the technique. And once you master the technique, then you can work on the harder ones. So once you choose one aspect of your life that you're ready to transform today, I want you to write it down on a little piece of paper like this. And just tear it and just have a little piece of paper in front of you. So just trust your intuition here. What's the one that's popping out that you're ready to transform? All right, and that's it. So now you can put it down. We're going to go through a little training, then we're going to do a deep meditation. And at the end of it, you're going to have a powerful experience. And you'll now know how to do this for your whole list. So you just put that down and let's go through a few keys here in order to align yourself, your life. And it's really quite fun, because the thing I want to stress here is to not be stressed that it's a game. So we're going to have a little fun, and the key is not being attached. So first, let's just revisit the psychic senses. As you know, there's a lot of different psychic senses. Not all of them are even listed here, but we're just going to go through a few, and then in blue it are some ways to amplify them. So essentially, clairsentience, we talked about muscle testing, body testing, like show me a yes, show me a no. So practice, right? Practice whichever one or more of those things really seems to work for you. And something that will help you get clear reads on that is to let go of the attachment you have, letting go of emotional blocks so that you become more clear in your body to feel, because there's not like 50 different emotions in there that haven't been resolved yet, that are, distracting you a bit from getting a clear read on things. And as you do that, you'll be able to also differentiate. Many of you are clair empaths too, so you can actually feel what other people are feeling in your body. Of course, you don't want to take that on, but more and more as you clear your own vessel, you'll know like, oh, I'm feeling anxiety right now, but this isn't mine. This is that person's right there. And then you don't have to take it on. And you learn to have healthy boundaries and not identify with everything going on in a room. A lot of people with social anxiety are just very psychic and they just don't know how to handle it, right? Clairaudience, that's one of my strongest ones. So I get a lot of messages and they're just like thoughts. You can ask a question, sometimes it just comes without a question. I don't have it 100% of the time, because if I'm not in my flow state, if I ate, went out to a restaurant that wasn't that healthy, then I'm not in my zone, and then I need to get back in my zone. But once I'm in my zone, I can get very clear messages. So meditating, quieting the mind, getting into your flow state, and we'll get more into that in the future modules, and something called automatic writing, which we're going to practice this week. You're essentially just starting to write, and sometimes gold will come right away, but oftentimes it's going to be like, I don't know why I'm writing, this is stupid. You're just getting thoughts out, and the only rule is you just keep writing no matter what. Don't put your pen down, because what happens is it will just start breaking through those layers of the mind and the resistance. And once you get in your flow, you can have some really amazing things come through you. So that's one way to open up your clairaudient gift. Clairvoyance, of course, is visions. This is more rare for people. people get it less common, or some not at all. So decalcifying your pineal gland is a great way to open that whole thing up. There's many different ways to do that, from the responsible use of plant medicines to detoxification protocols that can remove fluoride from your body, which can include using boron and iodine, using minerals like that. You can use herbs. They say tamarind is good with that. And practice visualizing. So that could be stare at an apple for a minute with your eyes open, and then close your eyes and see if you can visualize the apple. Now see if you can hold the vision of the apple for a few more seconds. Can you start to spin the apple with your eyes closed? Right? You're starting, it's like a workout. I think they should teach this in school, because once you can visualize, there's so much you can do from it. So just go with where you're at, right? Whatever you have an edge with, be patient and don't have expectations that there's something wrong with you. You need to get this now. We're going to share with you an activation shortly that's recorded, and it's going to activate your psychic senses even deeper. And there's many tools to do that with. There's an angel that opens up your psychic senses. So we're going to introduce him to you soon. And every psychic sense is tied to a certain element. So you can use the elements in this meditation as well. So clairsentience is feeling. So that is the element of water. Clairaudience, right? We're getting messages from the airways. That's the element of air. Now, light is what allows us to see, right? And light comes from fire. So clairvoyance is the fire element. Claircognizance is more, I would say, the ether, because it's just that inner knowing, right? It's just like, boom, it just comes, it's just there instantly. And the more you dissolve limiting beliefs, you have natural confidence in yourself, really, which is just the universe, the deeper that could just come through, because that's our natural state. Here's some bonus ones. I say bonus because they're not really that crucial, and most people don't have them. For me, I have clairgustance a little bit. So just a funny story, and this is the earth element, both of these psychic taste is clairgustance, clairalience is psychic smell. And that's how you can communicate with animals a lot of times, either through sending visions instead of words, clairvoyance, and clairalience, sending smells. But essentially, clairgustance is one of my favorite, because I love cooking. I don't know about you, but I don't cook every day, but when I do, I love just going all out. And one of my specialties, which I think we might have to add a little bonus class, is I love making magic cakes. And this is not something new. Wizards for centuries, if not millennia, would craft magic cakes. They're very powerful because it's basically such a collection of blessings, potions, petitions, alchemy, and then eating it. You're literally just, it's a very deep way, an intimate way of just sealing in an intention, to say the least, right? And it's really fun. Okay, we're getting some yes to the magic cake, so we'll do that. So essentially, I made a magic cake, and I don't want to distract you too much here from the class, but I guess we'll have a quick commercial break, because this cake was just mind-blowing. I colored it with butterfly pea and pandan, which is this green leaf that was actually Buddha's favorite dessert, was cooking things in pandan. It's kind of like a Thai vanilla. And I had carob chips, and I used butterfly pea, which makes it blue. So it was like blue frosting on top, made with some grass-fed ghee, like butter frosting. And then I infused it in blue lotus, and then I drenched elderflower syrup in the middle as a surprise. And I put this liquid gold ormus potion in it, and just little treats. And then, I was out shopping because it was my friend's birthday. If you know her, Activation Vibration, she has a pretty big following. She's amazing. Heather, an amazing friend of mine. And then all of a sudden I saw that there was a chocolate with pop rocks in it. And if you don't know pop rocks, they used to be more popular. You put them in your mouth, and it's like, things just start popping in your mouth, right? And I just never bought that before. And my my intuition was like, you got to buy this, you got to put this in the cake. And my mind was like, no, this is crazy, this would ruin the cake. But I decided to do it, and I just put little pieces of this pop rock chocolate in the cake. And then when I gave it to Heather, she had such a beautiful reaction, because the first thing she said was, Pop Rocks was my favorite dessert as a child, and I haven't had it in years. And it brought back so many memories. And it was literally all the flavors she loved, and it was made just for her. And it was really powerful. And of course, it had so much intention in it. So that's a way, you can, someone made me back when I used to drink coffee, she put like all these things in it that were crazy that I just loved. And she knew exactly how I wanted the coffee. That's Claire Gustance. And the more you connect with the earth, the more you connect with herbs and grounding and all these things that are earth elements, the more that can come online, and have fun with it, right? So you can do that for yourself. You can do that for someone you love. And, that's just a fun way of using your psychic senses to create and celebrate life. All right. So a lot of the questions here we're going to answer at the end just to stay focused, but I'm excited to share some of those resources with you soon. Okay, so here we go. We're going to introduce an archangel called Raphael, the angel of mysteries. And this angel is here to accelerate your spiritual path. And it's incredible because it's there to open up your psychic senses, your creativity, and Raphael helps dissolve your psychic blocks. So it's a very powerful angel that can accelerate your psychic and spiritual growth, to reveal even past lives, reveal truths to you, things that are veiled and mysterious. So this is one of my favorite angels. And we're going to do a little meditation to activate that. And also the deeper meditation we're going to release has that as well, to really activate your psychic senses. So just wanted to let you know about that. So let's go into awakening. Now, in different lineages, like in the Tibetan Buddhist lineage, which, spread out, they have many different traditions just in that, they talk about dissolving the man-made constructs. So here are the main constructs that we're going to dissolve today. And it's not just about a one-time experience, right? It's not about just taking ayahuasca one time and then you're good. Integration means we want to stabilize this awareness. We want to stabilize being in a reality where we're not limited by space, time, and all of these constructs. So I'm going to just break each of them down for you. So the first one is about space. So remember, a lot of people talk about, oh, I'm me, this is my body. But essentially, we're so much more than our body, right? We are actually an infinite awareness. So what does that mean? When we realize that it's a construct saying like, this is me, this is my body, I'm right here, I'm not over there. It's just a construct. So that's what locality means too. Locality means, okay, I exist. This is my center of existence, my body. But, a lot of you have already had experiences where you either feel one with everything, or you can feel someone across the world. There is really no separation. And so obviously we're going through the concepts, but the important part is that we're going to actually experience these and start getting a taste of that here in a few minutes. So we're meant to expand back to our natural state. And expand it's not an artificial growth of our small self into a great self. It's simply putting our awareness where we think we're not, and realizing that we're there too. So for example, for some people like me, when I started this, it was very easy for me to expand and feel everything around me in this way, in front of me and to the sides, but in back of me, it wasn't. So then I started just, putting my awareness, just observing behind me. And it was just a limiting block. It wasn't real. And then I started feeling everything behind me. So as we're doing this, your awareness, it's like a little ball that can expand and expand. Wherever you feel a wall, just put it there without judgment. You're neutralizing it. Just observe it And that's where your awareness automatically will expand and dissolve limitations just by being aware of it, just by putting your awareness there. Another way of saying that is being present. So another construct is time. So, and some people have deeper trouble with this. For example, when I do my live sessions, people nowadays don't really have a limiting belief that they can experience energy if they're in a different country and I'm right here. But for some reason, a lot of people have limiting beliefs that, oh, if it's not live, it's not going to work because it's recorded. But the intention is there. It's an agreement. So just like space doesn't really exist in the higher realms, neither does time. And at least what we think of time, it's just a game. It's just a tool for us to learn from for a time. And we really are eternal beings. And in this eternal now, we have access to all timelines. So we're not limited by linear time. And we can actually deepen our level of presence by realizing that. And so when, as you're doing this course now and seeing the recordings, if you simply let go of a limiting belief, you'll be able to feel all those things. You're calling in the angels, you're receiving energy transmissions. It's just an agreement, right? As soon as you press play, there's a whole set of agreements for you to have certain experiences and healings and awakenings. So it's just another construct. Identity, right? We've talked about this a little bit. These limiting beliefs we have, stories, traumas, memories, they all create an identity. The identity only exists in your mind, and the mind is an illusion. Therefore, the identity is not real. What does that mean? It means that, wait, what do you mean? My name is Bob and I'm 32 and I was divorced and my teacher said I was lazy and I'm interested in this and this is my race and religion. There's so much more to you actually, but to really discover your deeper essence of your soul, you first want to realize that what the Buddhists call emptiness, seeing it as empty, so you can see emptiness in all of these constructs, right? It's not real, right? It's just there, and the mind creates something to fill it up, but there's nothing really there. So realizing that your identity is really just empty, that it doesn't exist, you just become an infinite awareness, an eternal awareness. And we're going to experience that deeper today. And then finally, duality. There's a lot of things with duality. We talked about right and wrong, judging, separation. But, essentially, imagine that, your eyes are open now, you're staring at the screen, you're listening, but everything you're seeing right now, it's not outside of you. Your brain is literally creating a construct and meaning saying, this is outside of you, this is outside of your body. But really what's happening is that everything you're seeing and hearing right now are signals within the brain. Your mind is interpreting. Think about that. Everything is happening inside your mind, and your mind is maybe filtered, giving it meaning, saying all of this stuff. And then we project that like a projector on what we call the outside. But there is really no inside or outside. It's just all one. And that's why we invite you, what we call going inside. It's not really inside as in space. It's just a metaphor to put the mirror out of the projection to where it's coming from, how we're creating everything. So what you're seeing right now are simply signals in your mind telling you that there's something outside of you. But everything you're seeing right now are just signals. They're waves in your mind. Everything you're hearing right now are just waves in your mind. And you simply made an agreement to listen at it at this time for your own awakening. And so as we dissolve these different constructs, which most people are living in, you could say it's the Matrix. It's like living with a VR headset on your whole life, and then you finally take it off. But the way to take it off is really to meditate. And someone just said, I want it off. The other key here, remember, is stay at 12 o'clock is to be neutral. You can't force it off. If you try to force it off, that's the ego, that's the mind trying to trick you. You can't let your ego or mind get you out of it, because that is it. So you want to relax. And that's why we talk about having fun, because we talked about, you need to mean something 100%. That's decisive, but you also don't want to be attached to it. Don't take it too seriously. What happens when you give something too much importance? You give it gravity, it starts controlling you. So it's like, oh, like I really need this client, this specific person, so I can feel safe, aka I have enough money. And there's so much deeper meaning we give that. Guess what's going to happen? Usually you're not going to get it, because you've given it so much importance. You've given it your power instead of being magnetic, the opposite, by keeping that power within yourself. So what happens when we give things importance? They often keep happening over and over again. If you're complaining, it's like, I keep getting taken advantage of. You're still at level 1. You're still not looking within, because you're complaining about this person for years, right? And it's okay to complain. Again, there's no judgment. There's no good or bad. If you want to awaken, imagine you got this little magic mirror. Just flip it. What is that bringing up in you? What are you feeling, right? Find the root of it. This is what we're going to go deeper in. So once you dissolve importance on outside things, which are simply a reflection of something you're attached to inside, which means scarcity, or you're not having faith, you're not trusting, you don't feel good enough, right? That's when all these aspects in life play out. And so we're going to align our life, but it's always by bringing it in to realize that there is no outside. It's just a hall of mirrors. It's just a game. It's a holographic school that the divine made that is actually perfect. And it only doesn't seem perfect when we're attached or give something importance. And I keep using this funny metaphor. Remember, I just had when I was a kid, I was at like Chuck E. Cheese or something, and then this weird kid was like, "Hey, I want to give you guys some candy," and I was so excited. And then the mom that was babysitting us was like, "Hey, I'll hold it for you and go play over there, and then I'll give it to you." And then she just threw it away, and it kind of shocked me when I came back. I was so excited to have the candy, but she's like, "We don't take candy from strangers. It could have drugs in it." And that was the first time. It was like I was like maybe 3 or 4, and it kind of blew my mind. I'm like, why would someone do that? But that mother, didn't give us what we wanted, but she did it out of a deeper love. So the same goes with, sometimes it's that part of us that's attached. It's a younger version of ourselves, and it's not to judge it or make fun of it, but it's simply saying, okay, like I hear you that you are attached to this, but can you wake up and come from a more expanded awareness? And from that place, you can dissolve that attachment. You can see the deeper root and not be run by these karmic loops, by this continual illusion that's putting you in the washing machine of life, right? If you're feeling that way. I've sure been in the washing machine of life many times, and it ain't fun. Sometimes it's needed. But once you awaken and stabilize, right? It's like flying a plane. You balance. You're not run by desire and aversion, which the Buddha said. The two ways you can attach. It's either like, I really want this or need this, or, oh, I'm scared of this, I don't want this, I'll do anything not to experience this. You're giving it importance. You're actually creating gravity. So you want to be your own gravity field and let the good things come to you that are your preference. And awakening is the way to set up the right conditions for that to happen. Because as we do this, we're going to have a really clear foundation to be the creators and architects of our reality. So as you dissolve these constructs, you'll be able to start observing the observer. So it's basically presence being aware of itself. You just feel this infinite, you feel eternal, you feel divine. You're realizing that all the things your mind thought was real or thought was you was not. It's just, okay, this lifetime I got programmed with this. It's not real. I don't have to feel sorry for myself. Everything is one. There is no separation, boom. Now I can just have that presence just be present of itself more. And that opens up the portal to awakening. Now, awakening, I love these Buddhists, because they've mapped stuff out for thousands of years. So once you go through this, you're basically just at level 1. This is like preschool, basically, for wizards, because now you're going to stabilize your awakened awareness. And there's all these higher levels of enlightenment. There's multiple stages of enlightenment they mapped out. So this will seem, if you haven't truly experienced this too much, pretty mind-blowing, because it's literally blowing your mind. It's dissolving the matrix of the mind, and it's just the beginning. So we're going to go deeper and deeper through this course, and I'm just really excited because module 4, it just takes it to a whole new level, and this is really important to just lay this foundation for it. So again, it might not make total sense to the mind, and it's not meant to, but we're here to experience it, and I'm going to guide you through it. So I'm just planting the seeds of remembrance. Now let's talk about the filters of reality. So let's say you're looking at an apple. So first your mind gives it a label. It's like, okay, this is an apple. Now, as soon as you say this is an apple, it takes away some of its qualities. Sometimes, let's say you take mushrooms and you look at an apple. It could just be like mind-blowing, or like a child, right? You don't have to be on psychedelics. The child is full of wonder. What happens is, medicines kind of dissolve those constructs temporarily, which can be useful if done appropriately and responsibly, or, just keep some people just stay like a child. And all the masters I train with, you look at their eyes, like they never lost that childlike wonder. Or if they did, they healed it and got it back, reconnected. So when you're looking at an apple on mushrooms, it's like, oh my God, it's so bright, it's so beautiful. Like, it's all these things, because you're actually seeing more of the truth of what it is, the life force, the energy, the perfection of it. But when we put a label on it, it's kind of dulls it down a little bit. Like, this is an apple. That's a woman, right? Whatever it is, the word. And then we give meaning to the label. So now we say, like, okay, the apple is a fruit. Fruit has sugar. It's these layers that we add to it. And that takes away more of the reality of what it is. It's just another filter. And then the deepest filter, which is the most powerful filter of reality, are beliefs. So this is just, a really simple one. You could say, like, oh, I shouldn't eat apples because they can make me fat because apples have sugar. Is that really true? Right? But if you truly believe that, maybe you'll get bloated. Maybe you'll gain a few pounds after you eat an apple. And then you'll say, see, I knew it. Because your beliefs are the biggest filter of reality. They're going to just show you, it's a game. It's going to just prove you right, no matter what it is. No one loves me. Okay, here we go. Enjoy that one. That was one of my deepest beliefs. So that wasn't the most fun game to play, but it can be positive. It could be, you can program yourself, and hypnotists learn to do this. It's like, before they go out on stage, like, everyone's going to have an amazing time and it's going to blow their mind. And then they go out and it's just like, they have this aura of energy, and it works. They have that experience. They change the timeline. So we're going to learn to start aligning your auric field, aligning your timeline with what we do want from our soul, really positive energies. The first, often when things aren't aligned in our life, which are reflecting an aspect of us, there are limiting beliefs. These are mental blocks. And so this is part of the meditation we're going to do here shortly. So when you have limiting beliefs,